You know, some people have big ears, some people have little ears. You know, well, some people have brains that are made out of dog shit. But they just found a part of their brain, they're like, I have no use for this. Chuck that whole logic, discerning, reason part, this fucking thing's confusing.
The etymology alone proves Osiris is sun god. Osiris is a Latin transliteration of the ancient Greek Osiris, which in turn is the Greek adaptation of the original name in the Egyptian language. Since hieroglyphic writing lacks vowels, Egyptologists have vocalized the name in various ways, such as Asar, Osar, Osir, Wasir, Usir, or Usire. Osiris equals Asar. Osiris, whose Asar, As, Oz, or Ah, is another name of the sun. Ar, or Ari, meaning fire sun. Asar, and Achad, the sun. Ashura is Ahura Mazda, called Or Mazda, from Or, the fire. In India the sun's name is Surya, and the term Asur is found applied to evil deities. It is probable that they were the old sun deities. Bible names containing the deity name Izar are Azariah, Israel, a Phoenician name of Saturn, Azrael, Elazar, Azriel, Elizar, Az, the sun, and Adar, the fire god. Both the Sumerian Asari and the Egyptian Osiris were the same. Worshipped as Azra or Osiris, Lord of the world, King of the gods, Lord of life, and eternal ruler. Or, as we find him described in the Egyptian funereal ritual. In the Book of Preparing the Dead, knowing the names of Osiris. Osiris, Universal Lord. Osiris, Lord of millions. Osiris, King of the gods. Osiris, Lord of the land of life. Osiris, in earth. Osiris, in heaven. Osiris, the sun, Lord of the horizons.
Praise Osiris, King of all Egypt!
Macrobius informs us that Adonis, Attis, Osiris, Horus, and Liber were all equally the sun. Osiris was one, and the same divinity with that of Ra the sun, is no mere inference of modern scholars. The identity is asserted in a vast number of authoritative texts. Osiris is the soul of Ra, and Ra the soul of Osiris, according to Egyptian orthodoxy. As Ra was the most popular personification of the diurnal sun, so was Osiris the most popular personification of the nocturnal sun.
What? You're fucking high! Are you out of your mind? No! This house is a fucking prison! On planet bullshit! In the galaxy of this sucks camel dicks!
The Duat, literally that which is in the afterworld, also translated as text of the hidden chamber, which is in the underworld, and the book of what is in the underworld, is an important ancient Egyptian funerary text of the New Kingdom of Egypt. It tells the story of Ra, the Egyptian sun god who travels through the underworld, from the time when the sun sets in the west, and rises again in the east. It is said that the dead pharaoh is taking this same journey, ultimately to become one with Ra and live forever. The myth of Osiris typifies the solar year. The power of Osiris is the sun of the lower hemisphere, the winter solstice. Osiris, the nocturnal sun god, passed through 12 regions corresponding to the 12 hours of night. Osiris became, as the hidden sun, the ruler of the underworld, and so the judge of the dead. Horus, son of Osiris and Isis, who, as the strong young son of the day, avenges his father, the son of the underworld. The joint identifications are surely enhanced, if we take into account the fact that the sun and Saturn are in a sense one and the same. The identification of Saturn as the sun prompts some further reflections. An answer may lie in the concept of the alternative sun, the sun not of daytime or the world above, but of nighttime and the world below. With this sun, is naturally equated the lord of the underworld, who is both Hades, Pluto, and, from the Egyptian mysteries, Osiris. Baal, the sun god, synonymous with Osiris, was the earliest known object of worship with primitive man. So, in later complicated mythology of the Greeks and Romans, Saturn, the same deity, has his place at the end of the dim vista of the generations of the gods, as the first ruler, the direct offspring of Chaos and Terra, or of heaven and earth, although with his later worshippers he had lost his identity with the early sun god, having been long succeeded in that character by his grandson, the Grecian Apollo. In the New Kingdom, the aspect of Osiris and Isis as fertility gods was increasingly emphasized, and they became more concerned with the world of the living, in addition to the underworld. Osiris was by now associated with both the sun and the moon as well as with the star Orion. The Nile River was called by many names of the sun, one of them being Sirius, Asar, Osiris. But as a sun god, Asar is also a god who affects nature, and, from the passage quoted from the hymn published by Reisner, it can be gathered that Asar was in some way connected with irrigation and vegetation. The hymn states, "O Asar, bestower of planting, founder of sowing, maker of grain and plants, who caused the green herb to come forth." With the imagery given, this hymn can be nothing but a praise to the sun. Osiris, their great god, represented the sun in his darkened or nocturnal or ruined condition, before the coming of day. The Marriott Base says, originally, Osiris is the nocturnal sun. He is the primordial night of chaos. He is consequently anterior to Ra, the son of day. Mr. Miller says, as nocturnal sun, Osiris was also regarded as a type of the sun before its first rising, or of the primordial night of chaos, and as such, according to M. Marriott, his first rising, his original birth to the light under the form of Ra symbolized the birth of humanity itself in the person of the first man. M. F. Chabas says, these forms represented the same god at different hours of the day, the nocturnal sun and the daily sun, which, succeeding to the first, dissipated the darkness on the morning of each day, and renewed the triumph of Horus over Set. He succeeds to a primordial form, Osiris, the nocturnal sun, or better, the sun before its first rising. The sun had 4 forms in all. Horus, the rising infant sun. Ra, the midday sun called Kepler, or creating heat. Set, the setting evil sun. And Osiris, the old dead or nocturnal sun, his mummy each day is carried from west to east under the earth. The fact is, there are literally hundreds of references stating Osiris was a sun god. Your foundation of denialism is obviously deep-rooted in your systematic religious beliefs. In the psychology of human behavior, denialism is a person's choice to deny reality as a way to avoid psychologically uncomfortable truths. It is a defense mechanism meant to protect the psyche of the denialist against mentally disturbing facts and ideas. In this case, denial is not a river in Egypt.